This is ANN News Brief.
Kenya is facing a fake currency problem. The central bank had introduced new notes in an effort to invalidate the billions of counterfeit currency in the country. That move has presented it with a huge problem. Fraudsters have made quick moves to replicate their fake notes as the central bank tries to rid the country of not just dirty notes but fake ones as well. Fake new generation banknotes have hit the mainstream financial market 3 weeks to the September the 30th deadline as imitators rush to beat the central bank at its own game. Counterfeiters have targeted with some success small traders. They have introduced the new 200, 500 and 1,000 shilling notes. Central Bank of Kenya is counting on the ongoing currency demonetization process to deal with the fakes. The Zimbabwe government said on Tuesday it has lost $32 billion in 18 months as a result of European Union and U.S. sanctions for alleged electoral fraud and human rights abuses. Information Minister Monica Mutvenga told the media on Tuesday that Foreign Affairs Minister Sibusiso Moyo had said in a paper he presented to the cabinet that the country has lost billions of dollars as a result of those sanctions. Mutvenga also said Zimbabwe has lost an estimated $4.5 billion bilateral donor support annually since 2001. The country also missed out on $12.5 billion in International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and African Development Bank loans. It also missed another $18 billion in commercial loans as a result of the sanctions. The Information Minister said the sanctions have also caused Zimbabwe's gross domestic product to shrink by $20 billion. For former European Union Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Felipe Vandame, has dispelled the Zimbabwean authorities' claim, said the collapse of the Zimbabwean economy predated the sanctions and is related to earlier policy choices. He added that EU sanctions on Zimbabwe were initiated by the Land Reform Program, which he said was characterized by human rights violations. We'll return after this message.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network, ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Still on Zimbabwe, the body of former President Robert Mugabe arrived in Harare on Wednesday, where a massive state funeral is expected to take place ahead of what is likely to be a private burial. Zimbabwe's top officials, the military elite, and thousands of mourners welcomed Mugabe's corpse as it arrived in the country he ruled for almost 4 decades. Mugabe came to power in 1980 and had vowed to die in office. Well, he didn't. Instead, he was forced to resign last year by his deputy, Emmerson Mnangagwa, who was backed by the military. Mugabe died last week at a Singapore hospital. He was 95. That's NN News Brief. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, nnafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at NN Africa TV. I am Lucy Ademi.